Hello everyone and welcome to Cover2TV. I'm Steve Hoare and this is our first ever Q&A show. We thought we wanted to do something a bit different each week rather than just previews and reviews. We want to get you guys involved in our show because you guys are the reason why we're doing this in the first place. That and plus, well, we all love the NFL, don't we? Especially me, and I'm on my own talking to you guys. That's how much I love the show. So anyone who doesn't know, follow us on Twitter at Cover2TV. We asked you guys to send us in some questions, NFL related. Could be about anything, whether you want opinions on stuff, whether you want some rules of the game explaining, because I know some of you guys are fairly new to the sport, and obviously if we can help you guys enjoy it, then that's what we want to do as well. And the response was very, very good. We've got loads of your questions right here. Going to work through them all, have a little chat. Hopefully you guys agree with my answers. If you don't, by all means, let me know in the comments section below. If you agree with what I said, if you don't, all that business. Yeah, other than that, spot on. Let's go. First question comes from Joe Hulbert. Hello, Joe. He asks, will Terrell Pryor turn his season round in Washington, or is he the latest hyped wide receiver to fail under the expectations? I was a big fan of this signing when the Redskins signed Pryor from Cleveland. I thought it was odd that the Browns decided to let him go, having done all the hard work to turn him from a quarterback into a receiver. I think he'll be all right there. I think he'll eventually turn the corner. You've got to remember, he's only just been a wide receiver for, what, a year or so? He's moved to a new system. I think that takes time. He's clearly athletic enough. He's clearly got the talent. What I would say is, he's only on a one-year deal there in Washington, isn't he? So, is he going to have to move again somewhere else next summer? If he stays, is Kirk Cousins going to be the quarterback in Washington? It looks doubtful at the moment, unless they pay him a fortune. I still think he's going to end up at the San Francisco 49ers. So, Pryor, by all means, has got all the talent in the world. Will he put it all together and become an elite receiver? I'm not too sure. I think you might see him become maybe a 1A/2, maybe. I'm not sure he's ever going to be an elite player, but he isn't on elite wide receiver money at the moment, is he? So I think he'll be a good receiver. I do agree he struggled at the moment in Washington. A few drops here and there. He hasn't been completely at sync. I think he will be a good player. I just don't think he'll be a great player. And whether that's in Washington or somewhere else, I think the Redskins will probably want to keep him around on a longer term deal if they can, especially if they do lose their quarterback. I think they want to keep as many players as they can. The next one comes from Owen Farrell. Owen, thanks for getting in touch. I think Owen might be fairly new to the game. And he asks, if a player signs a 4-year contract in the NFL but gets cut after one, does he get paid compensation? The answer is, NFL contracts are mad. They are not fully guaranteed. So in a lot of sports, football, as in soccer, basketball in America, NHL, almost every sport, baseball, contracts are guaranteed. So if you sign a contract, you are guaranteed at some stage to get that money, unless basically you retire or quit beforehand, or you do something stupid and get yourself sacked. In the NFL, not all your money is guaranteed. So when you sign your contract, you will negotiate guaranteed money, and no matter what happens, you will definitely get that money. So when you see a guy sign a contract, 4 years, $100 million, it very, very rarely works out that way. It's usually 2 years with like 30, 40 maybe guaranteed. So it's all basically, it depends on the contract and how good your agent is and how good a player you are to how much guaranteed money you get. And it's why you see some NFL players hold out for new contracts, because the risk of getting injured to them isn't worth what they're playing for, all that kind of stuff. It's weird the way the NFL don't guarantee contracts, but that's just the world we live in. I can't see it ever changing for now, but probably should in the future. I just don't see it happening anytime soon. Jonathan Higgins asks, how good is the Jags defense, especially Bouye and Ramsey? Before the season, I posed the question to Chris and Jenna on one of our discussion shows, can the Jags have the best defense in the NFL? And they both said they don't think they can. I said they might get close, if not get there. I think it's fantastic. It really, at every level, it's got amazing, amazing players. I'm a huge Calais Campbell fan. Dante Fowler looks like he's starting to put things together. People don't even talk about Malik Jackson. Then you've got Ngakoue, then you've got Smith. You've got all these guys fantastic at the front. And I agree, Bouye and Ramsey. When Ramsey came out of the draft a couple of years ago, he was my #1 ranked player in that draft. I thought he was going to be a star. I think he already is. I think he's definitely a top 10 corner and probably in the discussion, maybe top 5-ish. He's around there, I think. I think he's absolutely fabulous. And I think the Jags defense is really good. And if the Jags are going to do anything this year, it's going to be built on that defense and Leonard Fournette running the ball. I think they could be the best defense in the NFL by the end of the season. Whether they will be or not, time will tell. They've certainly got the talent to do so. Lewis Mabley asks, Which team will win the crazy AFC West? It's a great question. I picked the Chargers because I'm an idiot before the season started. I am well and truly jumping off that bandwagon now. As it stands, I'm going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs. They look fantastic, don't they? They've been arguably the best team over the first few weeks, and there's nothing about them that looks like it's going to fall to bits. You know what I mean? Everything seems to be covered. The only thing that's going to really derail them could be injuries. You know, if Hunt picks up a big injury, or Hill, or maybe Kelsey, but then that's the same for every team in that division. Everyone's got star players, but the Chiefs look good on both sides of the ball. They're getting after the quarterback, they're scoring for fun, the ball is getting distributed, and Alex Smith is playing well. So, as it stands, I will pick the Kansas City Chiefs to be the AFC West champions. I am backing off the Chargers bandwagon. In fact, the bandwagon's probably on fire somewhere in the middle of California now. Sorry, Chargers fans. Lee Reynolds, has Marty Bennett's production been underwhelming, or is it just a product of issues on the Green Bay offense? I think him being there helps them scheme open lots and lots of stuff, because once he's in the lineup, you can pass or run. Sometimes for Green Bay, it's either been, you know, it's rarely that it's been a blocking tight end here or a catch, whatever. And we saw last year how good Jared Cook's impact was and what it opens up for the Packers. So I think, although Bennett himself hasn't been absolutely fantastic, lights out player, I think him just being there allows them to scheme so much more stuff, and allows them to, it helps Ty Montgomery, it helps Jordy Nelson and all those guys. I have been slightly disappointed in, he's looked a little bit slow at times, a bit sluggish. He hasn't been as explosive as I thought he would be, and he has had too many drops. As a Packers fan, I've thought. I think he's a great player. Maybe it's his fair. He's 3 games into a new side, so time to develop and all that kind of stuff. I think he'll be fine, but I must admit I haven't been as enthused as I thought it would be over 3 weeks. But I can definitely see why Green Bay need that type of elite tight end in that offense. It helps so much. Tim Fulton asks, if London gets a team, would NFL fans in the UK embrace that team? I can't see Manx or Geordies or Scousers, etc. rooting for anything from London. I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is most NFL fans in the UK already have teams that they support. For example, if the Jaguars move to London and become the London Jaguars, I would still be a Green Bay Packers fan. I would not be a London Jags fan. I would keep an eye out for them and I'd wish them well, but they wouldn't be my team. However, that we're not the audience that they're going after. They're going after a new audience, aren't they? People wondered if when the Houston Texans moved to Houston, most of the people in that city around that area were probably Dallas Cowboys fans, and now the Houston's got one of the best home atmospheres in the NFL. People were worrying about Carolina when they moved there. Will people support the team? Jacksonville, to a lesser extent, when they moved to Jacksonville, people wondering, would there be a fan base because in Florida when there's already 2 teams there? And by and large, new cities do embrace their teams. I think the issue that they would have, I don't think they play at Wembley. I think they might go for the tour would be they would be in the new Tottenham ground. Would they sell it out? I think they probably would. If nothing else, probably maybe visiting fans, a game of the season, kind of like what's happening to the LA Chargers at the moment. You might get a lot of away fans in terms of, for example, if the Packers were playing the Jaguars in London, I would definitely go and support the Packers. So I think we're not the fan base they're going after. If they do bring the franchise here, they will be looking for the next generation. So my son, or people at home who've got kids maybe between the ages of 2 and 10 or wherever, when those kids start coming through as NFL fans, that's the generation they're aiming for. So when they're 18, whatever, they are then fully fledged Jags fans. That would be the aim, but I don't think it will be an issue for people like me who don't live in London to be associated or worry that because they're just from London that will be an issue. I don't think that will be the case. Sam Brown asks, is Hugh Jackson's job in danger? I think after this season it might be. The process is there for the Browns to be doing what they're doing, the whole rebuild and draft picks and blah blah blah, but eventually you've got to win some games, and by and large the Browns haven't been close to winning any games. The one game they've won under Hugh Jackson was because of a missed field goal, for example. So I think you can see signs of progress from what the Browns were to what they are, but at some stage you've got to win a game. So maybe at the end of the season, if not next season, I think he would be. I think he'll be fine for this year, and then the powers that be there will decide what will be. There could be some very, very good coordinators turning and looking for head coaching jobs. I think it would be a shame to lose Jackson now because he's been through all this, and I do think he could be a good coach. I think you can see signs of that, but at the end of the day, it's a results-based business, and I think they won 18 or something in his games. It just simply isn't good enough. Next question from Abdullah Mullah. How would you rate Kareem's start to the season? Well, he's been fantastic, hasn't he? I mean, he had the best debut in history, so that's some way to go. And here is one of the main reasons why the Chiefs' offense has come to life. They've been brilliant. So it's impossible not to be impressed with Kareem Hunt. He's been brilliant. Hopefully for the Chiefs, that stays to be the case, and that proves to be the case. They look like they found a star player. Let's really hope they have done. Miles, hello Miles, asks Tim Tebow or Johnny Manziel. Oh, geez. For example, who would I rather have quarterback on my team? I think I'd go for Tebow just because he's a bit bigger. You know, they're both terrible. They both can't throw, but at least you're not going to get too many off-field issues with Tebow from a negative sense. And also, he's a bit more robust, so you can run him more. But they were both two terrible NFL quarterbacks, that was for sure. Callum asks, where does Stefon Diggs rank among top receivers? Is there any chance he cracks the top 5 by the end of the year? I said on the last show, I think he's top 10 now already on our review show. Please go back and watch that if you haven't. I said it looks like he's breaking into the top 10. Top 5's hard because I think there's a clear 3, Beckham, Jones and Brown in any order you want. 4th, that range, there's the Greens, the Evans. Is he better than those two? I don't know, but I think he certainly should be in the discussion. You know, Jordy Nelson, that range, I think somewhere between 5 and 10 is probably fair. I don't think he's top 5 just yet, but he's well on his way to being so. And he's a genuine number 1 target. The Vikings have found themselves that's for sure. Top 5 may be a little bit too rich in my blood now, but he's certainly top 10 for me. And he could be knocking on that door for that 4th, 5th, 6th place spot by the end of the season. Gore asks, can the Seahawks make the playoff again? Of course they can. Yes, they can. The division isn't very good for a start. They got loads of problems, but in that division, I'd be surprised, even with all the issues they've got on the offensive line, if they didn't make the playoffs. I think it would be a huge, huge shock if Seattle missed out. Brody Heil asks, is Jordy Nelson underappreciated? Not by me. I think he's fantastic. I think across the league, most people accept how good Jordy Nelson is. You know, again, most people I think would rank him, but somewhere between 5 and 12 on the list. I don't think he's underappreciated at all. People appreciate him for what he is. He's a genuine number 1. He's fantastic. He is aging. Things are slowing down slightly, but the connection between him and Rodgers, I don't think anyone underestimates. So again, it's hard when you ask, is he underappreciated? I don't know how other people feel about him, but the consensus is that he's really, really good. And as a Packers fan, I can assure you he is really, really good. And the last one, is from Gerard, who asks, is Jordan Howard a top 5 running back? Wow, it's a tough question. I think he might be knocking on the door. Again, it's hard. The emergence of all these rookies, for example, are they better than him? Are they not? I think Bell and Johnson, when fit, are the clear best 2. Elliott, possibly 3. I'm a big Shady McCoy fan. I still like DeMarco Murray, for example. Again, and then you look at these guys like Kareem Hunt and Dalvin Cook and Joe Mixon, possibly Christian McCaffrey if he can get things going as well. Leonard Fournette's been an absolute revelation. There's loads of other guys I'm probably missing. I'm probably Devontae Foreman. I'm sure there's really have said him as well. He's definitely in the top 5. So I think Howard's again somewhere between the 5 and 10 range. I think he's really, really good to do. I think he was the best running back in the league last year. I know Elliott got all the plaudits, but I think Howard was fantastic, and he was carrying that offense. So I think Bears haven't got a lot of weapons on the offense, but they've got 2 running backs who they should be balling around. Keep the ball out of Mike Glennon's hands, give it to the likes of Howard, give it to Cohen, and go from there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm out of questions, as you can see. The paper's been flung. Thanks so much, you guys, for getting in touch. Hopefully you liked what we said. Hopefully you liked the show. Give us your feedback on the show. Tell us what worked and what didn't. While you're there, do me a favour right now and press thumbs up on this video and give us a like. If you haven't subscribed as well, I would really appreciate if you could do so. And keep an eye out on the channel because we've got our Week 4 preview show coming this week, if not already out again. And next week we'll be reviewing all the games from this weekend. Other than that, all I can say is thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing to COVER2TV, and I'll see you all soon. Goodbye.